It is the Change Plan Podcast. Joe and Vinny back at it.
Almost then it happened tonight.
Yeah. Tell us what happened, because I'll tell you what. I was up. I was up and at 'em, and
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was I was kind of like, man, I hope Joe doesn't text me. Maybe he'll forget. It was bad.
I never forget.
He called me out. He sent the copies, like a picture of the glasses, and I'm like, you know what? He's even got legit glasses today. So I'm here.
Two glasses on the table.
I can't
ready to go.
I can't promise greatness, but I'm gonna give a C+.
I think
it's gonna be a good show.
A C+ from you
is an A+ for everybody else.
An A-.
I'm not even gonna lie. So I will tell you, I had a day in court, and then I had this like deposition at 1:00 I was taking. Completely unprepared. Like, I didn't prep for the depo, so I'm deposing this guy, right? And then I get to the office, and there's like fire trucks because there's a fire in the building. So now I got like,
oh my God,
I got like 10 minutes to walk in, and I smoked this guy so bad in the depo. They were supposed to depose my client, and they're like, nah, we're good. And like everyone in my office just got their ear to the doors, and I'm just lighting this dude up. And it was like a lawyer's 8 Mile. So yeah. So
you should be feeling good.
I do feel good. I feel good. As soon as I sit down in this chair, I'm feeling frisky now. So it's a good sign. It's a very.
Do you know Katie Carey, the lawyer?
Yeah, I do.
She retired to Portugal at 40.
Yeah, she did a ton. Her and her hubby did a ton of real estate, and yeah, that was her goal, was to retire. And she worked crazy hours, like crazy. But good for her. I think retirement's overrated.
This was her table, and these were her chairs in one of her conference rooms.
Nice. I don't have that in the cards, man. I'm not a big retired guy. I'm just out here.
It's gonna work till you're dead.
I'm YOLO, dude. You never know. Could get hit by a bus, get in a fight with a silverback gorilla. You never know.
I mean, I would think you're even more likely to die suddenly in Portugal.
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah, that's it. It's true. Just kidding. Like literally, so I'm on my way here today, and so there's this young kid in town, like his brother's friends with my kid. So I think he's just gonna step into the place of my stepson, and I'm out here rent-a-dad. So all you Cromwell moms that need a dad around on the weekends, hourly rates $1.50 an hour, hit me up. But this kid,
does your wife know that you're pimping yourself out?
Yeah, she knows. It's my contingency plan. And anyway, so I love this kid because he says the craziest shit you'll ever hear. So, and it just reminds me of me. So he's on the bus. Like, mind you, he's on the bus FaceTiming me with a bus full of fucking kids. He's like, yo, I was at the zoo. I fucked a gorilla. And I'm like, Chase, you can't. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said his name. Never mind his name. His name's Brian.
Yeah, Brian. I know Brian. He did not fuck the gorilla, as he claimed.
But it was kind of funny. So, he's a funny kid. But
so, let me ask you this: Are you gonna like Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, I'm gonna be that dude.
That's the plan.
I think. Yeah, I'm kind of bumming out, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You are gonna be the coolest guy at a kegger this June. I guarantee it.
I tell you what. So when I was in law school, like clearly I'm older than all the undergrads. Like I'm like fucking 26, banging out a keg stand. And they're like, "Who is this guy? Is he a narc? Is he a undercover cop?" But yeah, man, it's just getting through the storm of college and all that.
Do you like speak the kid language? Like, do you
Oh, I got my ear to the streets.
When Jess is saying something, you're like, yo, no cap. Oh, and then he says pause, it and you go, bet.
Yeah. Oh, no, see.
Oh, is that out?
Well, no, so I could say bet because I grew up in that kind of like era. Like,
yeah.
Not that like I'm like Run DMC, but I like hip hop. But it's the kids who just say bet and they're bumping like fucking Luke Bryan or something. And they always say it at the wrong time. Like, it's always bet. Like, that's not when you say bet. And they say it in text, which is even worse. But yes, Jess likes the bet. Even this young kid, bet.
You saying the white kids are messing it up? They don't got it down pat.
Yeah, they don't got it. Like, you got to have a pass. You got to get invited to the barbecue. And but yeah, no, I try to keep my ear to the streets. This little kid, like yesterday, I'm at the game. It's senior day, right? So that was kind of cool.
Very cool picture, by the way, you and Jess.
Yeah, like real cool time. Once again, another sad moment in my sea of sad moments this year. But the little kid, Brian, we'll call him Brian for today's purposes, sure shit calls me out. Girls are coming over with lemonade, be like, yo, Vin got money, and they take Venmo. And I'm like, you didn't ask any of the other parents here. And I bought a whole bunch of lemonade. I don't even like lemonade. It gives me a heartburn. But the kid's funny. He kind of he looks like Cookie Monster on cocaine. So it reminds me of. But good kid, great kid. His brother's super cool. But yeah, so I think I'm taking him to a little bit of golf tomorrow night. Go one of those like virtual golf of food and stuff. I don't know why. It's like the Big Brother program over here.
Just the two of you.
Yeah. Is that weird?
I mean, when you say it out loud.
Who's that? Someone else's kid?
Yeah.
Are you stepdad? No.
No.
Just some random.
Dude, that's like it's like Back to the Future. You're Christopher Lloyd in this.
It is, because it is like
right.
Me. It's like exactly
it's a high school kid, and like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, but it's me as a kid. It's funny. We went to one night. I took him to Chick-fil-A because he helps me out with the dog rescue stuff. He loves all the dog rescue stuff.
All right.
So he'll help me pick up and drop offs. But we're like in Chick-fil-A. He's like, bro, stop grabbing my butt cheeks, and he's like screams it in a restaurant. And he's like, stop looking at my dick, bro. And I'm like, ugh.
Good thing you're a lawyer.
Yeah, that's not getting me out of it.
Well, I mean, at least you'll know some of the things to say.
Yeah, just say no Diddy after him. I'm good.
No Diddy. Did
you see that? We got an American Pope.
Oh my God.
So how fast do you think Trump's taking credit for, like, look what I did?
Oh, I've already seen people credit him for it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, I saw that today, and I'm like not like a big Pope follower, but that's big. I think it's the first one ever.
Chicago got the first American Pope. The last guy, Francis, was the first South American Pope. This is the first North American Pope, and Chicago to boot. Amazingly, Chicago has a Pope before it has a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards in a season.
Oh, leave Jake Cutler out of it, dude. His wife was hot.
I mean, even God can't turn that kind of miracle.
Yeah, but you know, this Pope got a little thug in him, dude.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Francis, I don't know if you know this. You know, Francis, before he became a priest, was a bouncer. He was a bouncer, like at a bar in Argentina.
So I wonder how that.
You don't want to cross that guy.
No, but that was I think it's all weird anyways, but I'm glad we got a new Pope, I guess. I don't know what they exactly do and all that, but
you would think that the Pope,
yeah,
right, that's supposed to be like the most holy guy on the planet. And it's weird because just a couple months ago, a lot of Christians were down on that guy because he said some things they didn't want to hear. He reminded them that Jesus, assuming he existed, he said that Jesus, thank you for enjoying I just got a text about the cross joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, would Jesus want to kick transgender people out of the military? No. I don't know. I feel like that's not really not like a Jesus thing.
Well, that's my whole point. Like all of these religions, they're like, we accept everybody but A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Right. There's always somebody. doesn't belong.
There was never, you can't point to anything in the Bible and Jesus was like, nah, you're not good with me. That was the whole point of Jesus, if you believe the guy existed. That,
Right.
Like, he loved everybody. Right? Like, so let's hope this brings some, I don't think it's ever going to bring some normalcy to anything, but at least, if he's talking, I may be able to understand it without subtitles.
Here's the other, I think, super interesting thing here, right? So, like 150 popes or something, cardinals rather, voted for the Pope. Now, I was Catholic growing up.
Yep.
Okay. And I was an altar boy. I was pretty into the whole.
I taught CCD class.
Did you really?
Yeah, fun fact. Why is your phone blown up? Are we gonna deal with this shit all? Can we guys at least get some comments on the screen?
I'm very popular. I'm very popular. Yeah, of course. When the comments start rolling in.
All right. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything.
No, I would never. But so, right, these cardinals all go in there, and the voting is like American Idol, by the way. They just tell you who won. They don't tell you what the vote total was.
Yeah.
So you're just assuming, right, everything's on the up and up. Now, do you know where the smoke comes from?
No.
After the ballots, they take all the ballots.
They light them on fire?
And they light them on fire.
Dude, that's what they should do in this country.
Yeah, they do.
No, actually, they should read they should take like 3 weeks and just read each fucking name of who you voted for. Because then you could just walk around and just start pointing fingers at everybody. I think that's pretty
not a bad idea. Yeah, you know what? You want to get rid of voter fraud? Yeah, just go through everybody's vote. Be like, oh, Vin, you voted for, go off the list. You're like, yeah.
I like that new Prime Minister of Canada, by the way. He came down. He was like, no, not going to happen.
Listen, Donald Trump is a weird guy. Here's the thing. It would be one thing if this guy was going around starting fights with like Iraq and Iran and North Korea and Russia.
No. Canada.
It's an odd choice. Canada, Australia,
like
England.
All the places you're never going to be afraid of.
Right. Our allies.
Yeah. Or like they're going to be allies, but like no one's afraid of anyone in Canada. Like, I think they still have Mounties up there, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Right? Like,
that's how they get it done.
But and then we were just talking off air, but you didn't hear about this story, but there was a young kid, I think he was 17, cops were chasing him, I think. Allegedly he had stolen a car or something, shot this kid all up in the back, screaming he had a gun. Of course, he didn't have a gun. Because, people will just make excuses. But yeah, don't run from the cops, but also don't shoot people in the back. Yeah. Like, there's no excuse for it. And then the kid's father the next day ran over a cop.
Ooh.
I mean,
even Steven.
Yeah, listen, you don't want people losing their lives, but that's a ride or die goddamn dad. Right? And people are like, well, it wasn't even the right cop. Well, clearly you got the wrong kid.
Yeah.
Right? But that's where this, I think this is where the country's headed, is like people are just starting to take shit into their own hands. And I don't know, that's a slippery slope, but I thought it was kind of crazy. Like,
that is crazy.
I'm not a proponent of violence, but you can't be up in arms either. Cause I don't know. I can only imagine what you would do if someone did that to your kid.
You ever saw the guy out west? His kid was getting molested by his karate instructor and he kidnapped him for a week or so. And they brought the guy back.
Yeah.
And then they had cameras. They caught it all on tape because the guy was, the father was on the phone pretending he was just a regular citizen. And when the guy walked by, he came up behind him and popped him.
Dude, there was a mom who was like, I don't know if it was her boyfriend or aunt was doing the same thing to her kids. So he kept the person alive for a week and was just burning them and all sorts of crazy shit. She went to court. She's like, yeah, put me in jail. That's what he did to my kids. That's the level of love a parent fucking has.
Well, there should be a law that allows that.
Oh, I agree 100%. I couldn't even imagine if someone did something to my stepson.
I think Hammurabi had it right, don't you?
Who? We're talking about the gorilla?
No.
Oh, it's different.
Hammurabi's code from Samaria, ancient Samaria. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Did you take Western civilization in high school?
I'm 45.
So you took Western civilization
Yeah, what
in
was
high
I,
school.
17?
Bro, it was
I
like...
almost forgot about the podcast tonight.
It's like the first 5 pages of the book is about Samaria and Hammurabi.
It's almost 20 years ago.
You're a lawyer. They don't talk about Hammurabi's code?
That's not what we're discussing in my practice. Absolutely not. But I am a big eye for an eye guy. Are you a death penalty guy?
I'll be honest. I here's the thing with the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I need a really high standard of evidence.
I agree.
Okay. If you have somebody on film doing something heinous,
yeah,
I think the punishment should be that you get set on fire.
Ooh.
It's cruel. It's unusual.
That's my biggest fear.
But it's
drowning.
hot.
Yeah, no, like it. That's like I always fear like getting set on fire and dying or drowning. I think drowning's a little bit.
Drowning's worse. That's why I went with fire. I'm trying to be kind.
Do you see? Is it Alabama that started doing the firing squad again?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I would love to be one of those guys that does the firing.
I don't know, like, but if I'm,
do you know, like they all have, like all but one has blanks?
Yeah. No, but here's my.
I just want to be blanks guy.
You already are. That's what your wife told me.
Walked into that one.
Yeah, but you got kids, so prove me wrong. Me?
How is Hammurabi's code not a hot topic in law school?
It's never been mentioned.
I'm telling you, you guys don't know how to party in law school is the problem. Got to get down with a little eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
But I think if I'm in like prison and I'm on like death row, like I just want to just die. Like just fucking put me. I don't want to wait around 20 years. Like I
know it's so dumb.
But there's nothing attractive about prison that makes me want to just stay alive and avoid that fucking chair. I'm the first one to sign up.
You don't think you'd be like a gang leader in prison?
Oh no, man! Look at me, dude. Don't let this thuggish exterior fool you. I'm like a pillow person, bro. Ain't no fucking way. Like I would like file my teeth down to like sharp points. Dude, I was actually watching. So speaking of that, right? So I was watching a TikTok where they had like this retired CO and she's like a female and she had to go into this cell and this dude bit the guy's dick off. Because the guy's like, dude, I'm not sucking your, you know what? And the guy's like, yeah, you are.
I gotta think that's always gotta be on top of your mind in prison if you're raping a guy, right?
No, I'm biting it off. Like it's.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're the guy that's getting the service, that's gotta be on your mind the whole time, right?
Dude. No, I'm not.
Vin is a prison thug, isn't he?
No, I'm not. I am not. I am such a pillow biter. I'm not fucking doing any of that. I'm telling you right now, I'm not built for it. Nope.
My understanding is on the first day, you go up to the biggest guy there and you just fucking punch him in the face.
Yeah, good idea, dude.
It's called making friends.
No, but I'd probably be all right because I'm a lawyer, right? So I just start shelling out legal advice.
Yeah, you got to do that shit like Shawshank guy did.
Yeah, that'd be me, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking
That's
me.
all you got to do.
Everyone's going home. Everyone's going home.
Warden, want to beat your taxes? What?
Yeah, you killed someone. Don't worry. I'll get you out in 6 days.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You'd be great. You need to bling out the grill. That's all.
Oh, man, I really want to get a grill.
I'll stop doing the podcast if you get a grill.
Just a lower one though. I got to add like a slight underbite so it look good. I think if
I'm doing a podcast with a guy with a grill and it's you, I've lost all credibility with the black community.
What are you talking about?
True.
I just told you I got invited to the barbecue.
I used to do a podcast. I used to do a podcast with this black dude who was awesome.
Yeah,
he was great. And then he stopped doing his podcast. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know. It was too bad. It was very sad.
Maybe
It was
we'll
a
have
great
that
show.
as a-
People loved it.
What was the show about? Was it better than ours?
So it's a black guy and a white guy, and my favorite segment was literally called "Is This Racist?"
Ooh.
Yeah,
can we
bro.
do an example?
Hey,
I want to.
We would play a Karen video where a Karen's like, would say some racist shit.
Yeah, but I think as the white host, you always got to default to that's racist.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, no, like I don't think was there ever an example where you're like, nah, that white person who said that, no, it was definitely justified.
That person was justified asking for the papers. What? Yeah. No, listen, I'll tell you what. This is the thing about me, right? And I don't pretend to be like some social justice warrior, but like as long as I've been alive, I could tell what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
My parents grew up, and I mean, I uttered the N-word when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I had heard it, and I didn't, and I called a white person.
Oh, okay.
That word. We were playing basketball. It was all white kids.
Yeah.
And I called a guy that. And a good buddy of mine who was older than us came up to me. He was like, Joe, he's like, don't ever say that word. And he explained. I was like, oh, geez, really? I had like no idea. And so I didn't use it again until I was like 20. And it was at a black guy. He was my friend, and we were getting into it. And then I never said the word, the word again.
Yeah, but like how? No, you're not fast forwarding through that. How was the reaction to that?
All right, I'll tell you the story.
Now, I don't know if
this guy lived across from me at school. And him and his buddies used to be in there mixing all the time.
Yep.
And they liked me. We got along fine. Yeah. We all smoked weed and whatnot. They would come over, hit papers, whatever, shit like that. So we were cool. And I brought my girlfriend up there one Friday night. We were hanging out, and it's just So I went over and I knocked on the door, and I was like, dude, I'm like, what are you're not even good at this. If you're gonna scratch records, like, for Christ's sake, like, be good at it.
I might.
And he called me an Elvis-looking motherfucker.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, but I don't care what he called you, dude.
But we were cool, and it was.
You're never cool.
It was 1993, and we could joke like that.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, no, we could.
You couldn't. No.
Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
This same black guy walked into a bar off campus at Southern one night. There was like 120 white people, and him and his buddy were the only two black guys. And when I tell you, they walked in and like the fucking record skipped.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments. And because he was my boy and I looked up and I saw that shit, I was like, uh-oh. And I walked over and I had a pitcher of beer in my hand and I poured them both a drink. And I was like, just come with me. Because I could, like, some shit was going to go down.
Yeah,
shit was going down.
Yeah, but I'm still not under.
So
I'm still not
again,
processing.
We were cool. We were like really cool. And
but what was his reaction?
There was no reaction. He called me an Elvis-looking motherfucker, and I called him a something N-word. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he laughed. I mean, it was a funny thing that I said. I think I probably had something that I don't remember, but probably something on his face or hair. But that's how we joked in the 90s, and nobody flipped out about it. You know what I mean? Everybody, like, no. You wouldn't walk up to a random black person and say that, but you would to your black friends, just like my black friends would say all sorts of shit to me.
Yeah, no.
I don't know where you grew up, but I was doing this in New Haven. That's just how we get down.
Yeah. Actually, I just had this conversation with my boy Boogie. And like
your boy Boogie, is that supposed to is that some street cred right there?
It actually is. But we were talking about like one of the proudest moments in my life, like the 5 times I've been called the N-word by my boys, and just like I made it.
So I was doing this podcast with my boy Rob, and I'm telling you, it was a great show. And he invited me to the barbecue. He actually told me, he was like, you could say the N-word and it would be okay.
I can't.
And I said, Rob, I appreciate that.
Thanks for the offer, but
I'm gonna thank you.
Hard pass.
I thank you for the offer. However, yes, hard pass on that one.
You know what I hate though? Like, so like, you listen to your rap music in the car and you're just flowing with the words. And then, you have a black.
Yeah, I mumble through that part.
Yeah, see, so that's what, like, on my back, like, you say the word when it comes up in the song. Like, if I'm in the car by myself, absolutely, because it's the goddamn song. But I have my windows rolled up, sunroof is locked.
I'm like a radio edit. I'm like, yo, what's up?
That's funny, but yeah, man.
I love hip hop. I'm a hip hop fan. I love the music. I know all the words. I hate the radio edit when Dr. Dre's like, what's up, foo? Like, I know Dre never said foo.
Yeah, like,
but whatever. One of my good friends in high school gave me permission as I was in town. She said Sicilians are just yes, exactly. We Sicilians are technically Africans. So we are part of the black.
You're Mediterranean.
And to that point, Nicole, too, there's a reason that black men, especially younger black men, love Italian mob movies because we all come from the same place and they know that.
That's aggressive. My wife's Sicilian, but
that's right. Well, you're
right. But that's why she thinks she's J-Lo from the block.
Yeah.
Like, my wife is the only mom that's pulling up to a game like blasting Quiet Storm. It's really impressive, actually. And she's from Durham, which is like how, but she like, and it's not like she likes the pop hip hop. She's just got like a Glock in her pants and just crip walking around. It's why I think it's hilarious.
By the way, I got to shout out my buddy Kevin Bradley. Kevin's
Cheers.
Been tuning in. I got to tell you, I've had more recently a lot of my radio audience on both stations.
Yeah.
Okay. On the AM conservative station and on 104, all kinds of people are like, oh, I love your podcast with Vinny.
You know what?
To the point, too, where I'm
going to be on radio.
Can I tell you something hilarious? Yeah,
Let's go.
I should have you come on one of these days. You really should. I told someone the other day, they were like, dude, your boy Vinny, you guys are great. What a great show that is. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, thanks. And I forgot, we were talking about something, but they were like, fucking like Vin knows some shit about the law, huh?
A little bit.
And I go, yeah, he's actually a pretty big time lawyer in Connecticut. And the person was like, get the fuck out of here. That guy's a lawyer.
I get it all the time. So I'm in Milford today. And I'm waiting around for this SpongeBob looking fucking lawyer. It's like she's walking around on toothpicks. It looks like an egg with legs, dude. It looks, you know what it looks like? It looks like a bird, and the only thing that hatched was the legs. Right? Like just the legs. Oh my God. And so but I was just telling story after story to this like a random couple sitting on the bench. And they were dying laughing, right? And then all of a sudden, this lady walks over to the vending machine, and it's like 9:30 in the morning, and she gets like flaming hot Cheetos. And I was like, lady, are you for real? Like, that's the move you're going with at 9:30? I was like, that bathroom upstairs is real small. But these people are like, dude, are you a real life lawyer? And I'm like, oh, I'm him, as my hat would say. I would turn the hat around, but it does say him on my hat.
It does. I saw it.
But I think that's my selling point to people. Like when I am in like attorney mode, is that like kind of what you get here is what you're getting in court. I'm pretty consistent across the board in life, but it also helps because then when I walk into a 2-hour depot unprepped and I just bury everyone and smile and laugh and walk away, they're like, how did you do it? Because I'm a normal human being and I listen. But I think most attorneys define themselves by being a lawyer.
Right.
Like, and that's the last thing I want people to think I am, unless you got a check in your pocket, then I'll help you out. I don't care what you do. Nothing whatsoever. Whatever you want to do, I'll take care of it for you.
Everyone in this country
deserves representation.
Is innocent until proven guilty.
Unless you mess with dogs.
Everyone in this country is innocent until proven guilty.
I hate that line.
And
I hate it. That is such a falsehood.
it is not a falsehood.
It is.
No, it's not. You have the presumption of innocence.
No.
You know that better than anybody.
No.
You have the presumption of innocence, and you have to go to court and be
that is
proven.
such a lie. It's an absolute lie. It just means they can't prove the case.
Yes.
This is what I tell my clients. I don't care if you did it.
Right. Doesn't matter if you did it.
Burden, but it doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means I'm fucking awesome at my job.
Oh, I agree with you.
I don't presume people are innocent when they come in my office. I've never.
Fair enough.
Never had a client.
I didn't say you do. I just said the court, in the eyes of the court.
The court doesn't. Hey, everyone who's allegedly committed crimes,
innocent until proven guilty.
No one in court is presuming you're innocent. Not one person in court is presuming you're innocent. Hashtag Diddy.
Well, that motherfucker did it.
but even in the Diddy case, how are you picking a jury? Hey, have you heard about the Diddy trial? No. Do you know who Sean Puffy Combs is? Never heard of the guy. How does that selection process work?
Have you ever bought baby oil in bulk?
Maybe.
Matthew, Justin, Balduck, so not true. I agree with Vin. Yeah, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about.
It's insane.
I'm arguing the law with Vinny. Yeah, you should definitely agree with Vinny.
Dude,
I had no idea. I heard that once. Just so you know, I was talking about Hammurabi's Code earlier. That's how long ago. That's where I studied law. Literally the first 2 chapters of Western civilization in the 9th grade. And that's as much into the law as I looked. Eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and I was like, yes.
This is the level of text messages I get. So I got 2 great ones. So last month, I got a guy who's probably got 7 or 8 violation of protective orders, and he's like, "Yo, Tekashi 6ix9ine snitched and got out of it." That's what he texted me. I was like, "So we're doing the Tekashi 6ix9ine defense," and then. Yesterday, I get a client. I got him an awesome deal last week. It was a crazy case. Almost hit a cop, ran a cop over, the whole 9. I get him a suspended sentence, no probation. But his license gets suspended, so he gets mad at me because I'm the one who's popping fentanyl in my ass and passing out and running cops over it. He's like, I don't even understand, yo. OJ got off.
Yeah.
That's the level of, well, OJ got off. Why am I taking a rap? That's not a defense, everybody. That is just not a defense. So please, if you're coming to my office with the OJ defense, leave me alone.
Well, so I guess he would be probably my best case in point, right? I mean, there's the presumption. I mean, everybody knows OJ did it.
Yeah, but that was the perfect storm. That was just after George Floyd and whatever jabroni attorneys were picking that jury. There was no way OJ
I believe you mean Rodney King.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
guy. George Floyd.
Yeah, that's a big
George Floyd is the reason January 6th happened.
Well, example of why I'm white. Right? Yes. So, but I was on a roll and now I fucked it up.
You were killing it.
But that's the whole point. You look at the jury and then you watch the OJ special. They're like, yeah, this shit happened. And fuck this guy. We're getting one out. That's literally what happened.
It's like in baseball when there's a 2-2 pitch and it's on the corner and he calls it a ball.
Yeah.
And then the next one's a little bit low and away. Mm-hmm. It's actually a ball and he rings the batter up for strike 3. And it's well, it's a makeup call.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest makeup calls. Yeah, no, we
listen. I think Dave Chappelle may have covered this, but I think we owed them the OJ thing. After the Rodney King.
Well, I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And listen, OJ was OJ used to be royalty in this country. So it's, I mean, that's.
He was in those Naked Gun
You're
movies.
right. I mean, you're talking about a handful of LAPD cops in exchange for OJ Simpson. That was
to even swap.
That was a good.
That's
It was a fair trade.
God, dude, it's so but I mean, in my world, those are factors that I'm thinking about, when I'm picking juries and just the tone of people in general, right? When my client last week we're going to pick a jury and he's dressing from a Diddy party, and I'm like, what are we doing here, bro?
If you were the lawyer right now picking the jury for Diddy, what are questions that you would ask? And is one of the questions, would you look at all potential jurors and say, who do you think killed Biggie?
Ooh. Yeah, but then
like, can you ask that? Do you want to ask that?
Yeah, but then Diddy killed him. There's no shot that Diddy didn't kill Biggie,
right?
Because Biggie wanted out of the contract. There's no
way. But wouldn't as a lawyer, wouldn't you want to ask the jury if you were obviously you're the prosecution, right?
Yeah,
you would. Is that a question you could ask, or would you ask?
No.
What if you were his lawyer and you're trying to see if there's prejudice against him?
I'd be like, listen, wouldn't you agree there's more money, more problems? Do you think this is all about the Benjamins? Have you been around the world? I think it's such a fascinating thing for me. And I typically don't like watching shit about the law and all of that because I live it every day. But it's just fascinating to me because this has got to be one of the biggest trials in the world, like in the history. And I don't know how they're going to pick a jury. In federal, they do it much different. So I think my understanding is the judge will pick like the first 43 and then you pare it down. Then the attorneys go and do the voir dire and all that stuff. But it's wild that he's going to trial. Like, I would just love to know what the plea offer was.
He should have just taken that, right?
Oh, he's cooked. The feds aren't losing this. Like, the feds lose this case, this country is going to go fucking ape shit. Like, it's going to be a buffet of crimes.
If he gets off, he's going to have to leave the country and probably go by Epstein Island, right?
There's no shot. He gets off. An album is dropping immediately.
If did he not have any idea this was coming?
No, absolutely not. Well, no, this is the one thing I will say. Like, he knew all this shit. They're looking at him. They raid their house. Like, why are you coming back here? You have so much money. You don't ever have to come back.
Right. I would have already moved to Panama.
Oh, I'm gone.
Right.
I'm gone. But I think it's also people in that position have such a high, they think of themselves. They're smarter than everybody else. It's like the guy I was doing a depot with today. He was one of those guys who just acted like he was smart, but he was dumb as fuck. So I buried him because I let him think he was smart and controlling the pace. And meanwhile, I'm just painting him into corners. And that's the problem when you have with people with all this money who are and they're in these positions of power. They think that, well, I'm untouchable. But the feds don't miss. It's amazing to me, unless it's just, I think it's crazy he's getting charged with the RICO Act, but he's by himself, which is insane. I don't even know how you get bagged on a RICO charge when it's just
that's like racketeering and
like if it's racketeering, there's got to be other people,
right? Yeah, it's like a conspiracy, like a bunch of like an organized ring, but it's just him.
It's just him.
So is it possible that there are unnamed co-conspirators?
Yeah, but usually by then they're already taking the plea deal. That's how they get you. They get all that low-hanging fruit. Right. But they have to disclose all of that because that's all public record. People are taking pleas. So it's crazy. It's really, and he's got like the top tier attorneys. So that would be a doozy. It's going to be.
Did you see a couple months ago when one of the attorneys was like, yeah, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yeah, that's why, there's some weird shit. It might be consensual, but there's some weird shit.
Look that up. 2 months ago, one of the lawyers on Diddy's team was just like, yeah, I'm fucking out, dude.
Yeah, he's like, no Diddy for me.
Something came up in Discovery, and that guy was like, oh, fuck, I'm out.
I've never had that happen. Because I think, the crazier it is, the more I'm like, dude, that is awesome. That's so, I love, that's the stuff that gets me excited about being a lawyer is, doing that stuff. Because then it's a chess match, right? Because then you're at trial and you're like, all right, we're gonna see, because it's all about the story you tell. I tell people, I tell my clients all the time, if I'm on the other side, I'm spinning this story a different way and you're gonna lose. but we're not going to lose because I'm spinning the story the way I want. And because I talk the way I talk and I present shit the way I present it, 9 out of 10 times I walk it out and we're good.
Do other lawyers ever object when you're saying shit? I feel like
All the time.
I wouldn't feel right about it.
So I had this guy today. He's representing the husband. So this guy's trying to modify his These guy's paying my client like 12 G's a month for like 20 years. It's awesome. And so his attorney, this poor old guy, he's such a nerd. And so in a depot, you get to ask whatever you want. There's really like you could object, but you still got to answer the question. Then you go and argue in court whether you can use it. And he's just like, well, I just want to let you know that if it's outside the financial stuff, I'm going to object. And I'm like, I just want to let you know I don't care because you know that I know that you know he has to answer the question. So I was like, I don't even understand why you opened your mouth. He's like, well, this is how we're going to start off the depot on this wrong foot. I'm like, oh, no, we just started it on the right foot. And then I popped a Zen in and he was looking at me like I was a crazy person. But it's you because most attorneys, they don't know how to deal with me because I don't talk like an attorney. I don't think like an attorney. Well, they don't. Well, I think the problem is they underestimate like what I'm coming with. Right. So, yes, I joke around a lot. I am that guy in court, tell jokes, get along with everyone. And then all of a sudden they just get hit with a right hook. But also when I was talking to my associate today, I was like, and my staff was like, how did you do that unprepared for 2 hours? And they were just blown away. And I'm like, because I listen. I listen when people are talking. And when I tell you I used to battle rap, that's what I did when I was battle rapping. So people are like, how did you make the transition? But that ability for me to listen and then react is what separates me from everybody else.
You know, it's so interesting you say that because obviously I teach broadcasting classes. And when we talk about doing interviews, that is the biggest. I always tell my students, don't write anything down. Have a bio, know who you're talking to and what they're pushing. Start with that. And then you can work your way to other things, but don't write anything down. No. Listen to what they say because they're going to say a response and you're going to be able to take that. And if you're paying attention, you should have a follow-up that will actually turn the interview into a conversation.
Well, and that's a key, but know where you want to go with the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
So like I know where my endpoint wants to be. And I'm a big control the pace of the conversation. So I think in like anything in life, you have to control the pace of your life. So that's what I try to do in anything I do. And this is like something I've really probably been working on the past like 8 months is really controlling the pace. Because I talk fast and I tend to get on a roll. And when you get on a roll, you start missing things or you like, especially for attorneys, you don't want to ask a question you don't know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah,
because it's a 50-50 shot, and it's like sometimes it works. Like I was in a hearing the other day, and I was on a roll, and I think I won the hearing anyways. I'm not worried about it, but I did, and it was a roll of the dice, and I'm like, and for me, it was my ego that got in the way. I was like, I want to put my nuts on the table because this guy's an idiot, and wasn't. And then I did it and I made my point, but it also opened the door for something else. And I'm like, that's the ego part of like, I want to show this guy's what's up. And then I'm like, but he wasn't smart enough to figure out I opened the door. So I wasn't really worried about it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
that's nice. An idiot.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, but I think you also got to know what you're good at. Right. Like I'm not going to go write you a brief or I'm not going to be an appellate lawyer. And I think attorneys just think because they're attorneys, they're smart and they can do everything. And you just got to be, but it's like that in life, like in anything, right? You got to figure out what your lane is. And instead of trying to be good at a bunch of things, be great at something, and that's what I've tried to like focus on in my law practice anyways, is just really knowing what I'm good at, but it's also fun. And it's also fun when like your staff gets to see you in action. Because they don't like I can't operate without my staff, right? My office is my lifeline to everything else. So, but they don't really get to see the end product. And so every once in a while, when something like that happens today, it's nice. You walk out and it's like It's like winning an NBA championship. Everyone's like, yo, that was awesome, and high-fiving you. And you're like, you know what? You feel pretty good. But my client was happy. She was a savage too. So she's wild. But so she's dating a buddy of mine and super cool lady. But so my buddy's an Army Ranger. And this guy, her ex-husband, hates this guy. So she, just before the depot starts, she puts on my buddy's shirt that says Army Ranger just for that sole purpose. And the guy is just staring at her. And I'm just like, thug.
That is amazing.
And then we had this kind of like side deal because he's also trying to modify child support and all the stuff that she pays. And she just basically lives off the alimony because I would too if I'm getting 148 grand a year.
Damn.
Yeah. And she's like, well, what should I tell him why I'm not working? I'm just like, because your man just can't get enough sex, so you don't have time to work. She's like, I'm going to say it. I'm like, $100 every time you say it in the deposition. We didn't get the chance to, but it would have been epic because that's the type of shit I like to do.
That's fucked up.
It is. It's really fucked up.
Like in a cool way. Like if
really
you did
awesome.
it to me, I would hate it. But in real life, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that like the best case I had was when this young girl found out her husband was cheating on her with men, which is aggressive, right? And this guy was like a celebrity chef, like a man's man, and then there's like 1,000 dick pics in the phone. Like not his dicks. So we printed them all out in the office.
He likes the sausage.
so we printed them all out in the office, color photos, the whole fucking nine. I put them in a binder. And I took the divorce for free because I wanted to hit the red button. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I get to let them know that we know. So we went to court and attorney's talking mad shit. And I'm like, your client left us at the apartment. And I put the sticky note with his like gay name. He had like a pseudonym, like, and he looks at me and I'm like, and the attorney opens up the page and it's just 1,000 colored dicks, like dick pics. And she's like, she almost screamed. And I'm like, whose dick is that? I was like, that's not your dick. That's a white dick. You're a black dude. He looked at me. I was like, and if you got a white dick and a black dude, that's some bad karma from your fucking parents.
That'd be weird.
But yeah, like it's little stories like that, man, makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside because I live for those moments, which is kind of sadistic, I guess. But but it's been other than that, everything's good. Kids playing baseball. Wife's dealing with the college thing, and it's been a good time.
Notice anything different
about you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, all right.
Whoa, what's different?
I shaved my beard.
Nah,
I shaved my beard. I've had this thick beard for years now, and I shaved it. This is crazy.
I thought you were talking about your colonoscopy, bro.
No, we could talk about that in a minute. Listen to this. You want to hear a fucked up story, right?
Uh-huh.
I got home Friday night, and I think I told you it was getting a little thin on the left side. I think because I've been getting a lot more white hair, so I've been like plucking them because I hate it. And so the left side was starting to get just a little sparse on the side. So I shaved it down to a nice, comfortable stubble. Right? That's a drastically different. My kids, when I walked out of the bathroom, were shocked.
Yeah.
I got to work. I sit across from this guy, Gary, my buddy Gary, every single day. I've been doing it for a year and a half. Nothing.
Yeah.
Every morning after I finish the show with Gary, I go down to 104 and I sit with Amy Gray about an hour, the morning gal on 104. Nothing. Tuesday, Wednesday, nobody says a fucking word. And so finally, this really nice guy, Chris is the kind of guy who never talked behind your back. And he came up to me and we were talking. And before he walked away, he looked at me and he went, oh, by the way, you shaved your beard. He didn't say it looked good. He just noted that it happened. And I said, well, it's so weird, Chris. No one else here's noticed. And so he walked away and I thought about it for a second. And I was like, I think these people did notice.
Yeah, they did.
Come to find out, they've been shit talking behind my back.
They like the beard.
This is the fucked up part of the story.
It's
Ready?
awesome.
I make a big deal about it, like in a jokey, like
Yeah.
on air way. I do like 5 bits about it all afternoon long.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they like this better. They think this looks really good. And their thought was he should just keep the beard off. He's got a nice face.
Lies, dude.
I swear to God.
Listen,
I swear to God. That's how it all played out. Maybe it was all just a bit. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I like to think that that's what was happening. Don't fucking ruin it for me.
So, like, I had the opposite happen in my house. So the opposite. So I was growing so the kid wanted me to grow a beard. So for like 4 months, I'm like just slowly growing it in, right? Trimming it down, but it's not getting, So then I got to the point where I'm brushing it a little bit. And my wife's looking at me, and I was like brushing, like hiding in my closet because I didn't want my wife to know. She's like, is your jaw getting bigger? I'm like, excuse me? I was like, Jess is like, no, he has a beard. She's like, oh, I thought his jaw was getting bigger. I'm like, so then I'm walking around confused, like looking at my jaw, like, is my jaw growing? And then, you know what? So like, and my wife hates beards. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to trim it down. So I go shorter than what I have now because I got the cool stubble. And I got home, and the first thing she said, she's like, I like the other way better. And I'm like what? Because like for me, because I'm bald, right? I can't walk around with no facial hair, because then I just look like a ginormous 3-month-old. Like
Yeah.
And I don't have a chiseled chin, so it just looks like a wad of putty on a fucking popsicle stick. So, but I got to a point when I was with my ex-wife, and I was a little plumper back then, but I would have a barber come once a week, and I'd have sit in my barber chair down in my cool man cave, and we would just chop it up, and you cut my beard, wash it, oil it. It was awesome because I don't get to go to the barber shop, Joe. Like there was nothing better than going to the barber shop and chopping shit up. I got nothing now. I go to the gym. I got this asshole 14-year-old, 15-year-old with a full mop of hair, walks in every time. P.S. He doesn't wash his hands when he's shit. So I went fucking nuts.
Oh, no. Come on.
But he's like, he'll take his hat off and purposely fucking shake his hair out while I'm shaving my head. He's like,
that's mean.
Yeah. But I missed the barber shop. But yeah, that's funny about the beard because I had the opposite thing happen. At least no one thought your jaw was just growing and no one was telling you about it.
Thank God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but
people are mean.
But I told her, I was like, what happens if my jaw was growing faster than everything else? You weren't going to tell me? I was just going to be there one day with a monster fucking jaw?
Hey, Vin, I don't know. We should go to the doctor. Your jaw is expanding.
I started Googling, what kind of jaw disease do I have?
Nicole said her husband shaved everything baby face. It was so awkward.
I'm glad she added
I
baby
was like,
face.
never again.
I thought she was just going, he shaves everything. And then we were about to end this.
Glad that you got specific there. Yeah.
Boy. All right. Let's get a card going here because it's getting weird and I'm sweating. It's hot down here, by the way.
Oh, really? I'm cold.
Oh, this is a good one for Joe.
I just caught a chill. By the way, what are we drinking? This is delicious.
Tequila, bro.
That's what I thought.
Oh, man. That's a good one, dude.
Oh, my God. Wow. What's one song that symbolizes you?
You got it on your phone. You can play it for everybody. You don't have your phone because your kids take it.
Yeah, I don't have my phone on.
We can play it. I might be able to look it up if it's not too old.
What's one song that symbolizes you?
Come on, we're gonna play a little bit of it.
What a great question.
I know.
I feel completely unprepared.
All right.
A song that symbolizes me.
Well, we can put it this way, like yeah, it would be like your theme song. It would just be that jam.
You know what it would be? I'll tell you exactly what it would
We're
be.
gonna play it. I gotta look it up. Is it
No.
the Star Spangled Banner?
No, it's what's her face? Sia?
Ooh, the greatest? Is it that one?
The Unstoppable song.
Ooh,
I fucking love
I
that
got you.
song.
I got you.
I couldn't, dude. Sia could walk in here right now singing it. I don't even know who that is.
You sure it's this one?
Yeah, I love this song.
Did y'all hear this?
Listen to the lyrics.
Could they hear this?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. I was not gonna. I was not thinking of that.
This is a great song.
Okay.
See how strong I am. Come on.
I like it. I like it. So funny thing about Sia, right? So
I love that song.
I have a Claudia playlist, right?
Yeah.
Like a full, like it's like 150 tracks deep of just songs that remind me of my wife.
Oh God, you're so lame.
Right.
I love that.
My wife sent me one song,
Mhm.
and it was a Sia song that she has in her playlist for me.
No shit.
We'll play it. I hope my wife listens to this later because she'll be raging out at me as usual. Oh, she's gonna be so mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sia's good.
Yeah, so that's saved my life for all you cats. You wanna hear how my wife feels about me.
Man,
that's it.
Sia only writes awesome
Dude,
shit,
she's
huh?
got some bangers. Titanium
God.
is another good one. It's
You know what's funny too? When I first heard Unstoppable, I just heard I was like, it's like on every other TikTok video.
yeah.
And then I listened to the actual lyrics and I was like, oh shit, dude, that's fucking deep. I put my arms around you so you know how strong I am.
Dude, there was zero
I fucking
shot.
think that is.
There was zero shot I was ever gonna guess that in a million years. Zero. That is the best answer to a question you've ever given on this show.
Oh, right on.
All right.
See?
All right. I gotta play mine though.
Every now and again. Nail it.
I'm gonna play mine.
What is the one song that symbolizes you? By the way, I think Nicole picked hers. It's Beautiful Crazy.
Ooh,
I
yes.
like that. Very
that's
good.
That's on my my wife's playlist actually.
I would love to know what everybody else's theme song is or the song that symbolizes them.
This is mine. Like literally every time I walk into court, this is what I do. Everyone ready? Little T-Pain, little Mano.
I like T-Pain a lot, as a matter of fact. I'm a T-Pain guy.
Yeah, that's my
You know,
jam
I'll tell
all
you
the
right
above.
now, actually, you know what? If I were to pick another song, it would definitely, you know what it would be? I think it's my current favorite song. And I don't hear this song enough. I haven't at least since February. But dude, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. I'm telling you, and I don't even mean the Drake shit, so I don't care about that. But like, I don't know. There's something about that song, and especially the second verse of that song. I don't know. I think just being from Meriden, you know what I mean? And just kind of knowing who your people are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think I understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I think I'm down.
I got my other songs. I was playing it with my intern. So I have that. That's like my if I'm like my walkout song, my Mano, all the above, first verse resonates. But like if I'm in fucking trial mode, I'm always a big Jay-Z guy. I don't care what anyone says about top rappers, whatever. I'm a Jay guy. He has the song You Don't Know. And that song, like every time I walk into court, I got that shit in my AirPods and I'm just like, they have no idea what's coming. But that's what I love about music. Like, regardless of the genre, right? Because like for me, like I like songs from all sorts of genres, but you could always find that song with mood you're in, right? Like, but like that song with Kendrick's probably one of the few that I listened to. He had a dope freestyle. I like great artist. I don't, it doesn't resonate with me. But not that like Jay's music resonate. I didn't grow up in Jamaica, Queens, like, and just was out here slinging cocaine. But yeah, like, I mean, I'm down with some country. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, my kid will tell me I listen to pop country because this kid's like fucking skinning squirrels, like just sad, like acoustic guitar, like weird shit, which is his vibe. But I like me some like Morgan Wallen. I like Luke Bryan's really good. I do like Blake Shelton because I just think he's funny. So I think I just like it. I don't know if I like his music, but I'll listen to it. But yeah, man, Mano. But Sia's a good pick, bro. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
And she's got pipes on her too.
I'm telling you, like I heard that song a whole bunch of times. And literally, I kind of passed it off. And then I literally, like, I looked at the lyrics, I read them, and I was like, oh, shit.
Ooh, Jelly Roll. I do like Jelly Roll. I think
Who said Jelly Roll? I was just about to say, dude, I kind of dig this guy, Jelly Roll.
Super, like, just a good dude, but he was a badass rapper back in the day. You listen to his old rap stuff, but, like, I think, like, how appreciative he is of, like, where he's at now. I mean, obviously he's got a good voice, sings well and all that, but just as a person, you ever listen to him talk and his story's dope. You know, he did a bit at a prison, like where he like put on a concert for these prisoners, but then he brought like 5 of them out to this like award show that I would sing with them.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that.
Yeah, which
I
is
saw
like
that.
It kind of gives you like chills, right?
Yeah.
You're like this guy is like the real deal. But I think that's the best thing about music. I think it resonates with everybody, right? Like, that's,
God, yeah.
Like, that's like that. I think music's probably the one thing that like stops time.
If I'm not mistaken, too, I think one of those 5 guys absolutely fucking murdered it, right?
Yeah,
singing it, like, oh my God, yeah.
But it's
dude,
like,
it was
music's like one of those things that makes time stop,
right?
Like when you hear a voice and you're like, oh shit. Like, no matter where you are, like I've been in, like, you know, you're in the city or you're in West, like someone's just singing and like you may just stop and listen, and everybody does. Like, no matter like where your race is, religion, your background, that's one thing everyone could, for the most part, agree upon, other than like the raging, crazy hate white like screaming music, which is just, I've never been that angry. Like, you know, that like Danzig type of like, mother, do you ever want to bang heads with me?
Yeah, I'm not into
like I'm not biting.
shit.
I don't want to bite a head off a bat. And you wonder why we like white people are school shooters because of that shit.
You know, yeah, I don't get that shit. You know, let me ask you this: give me your 5 favorite like bands, like your 5 favorite. If you were 5 bands, you would say,
like
or artists, bands or artists. I don't care, any genre, anything. Like, I'll tell you right now, right? For me, Sheryl Crow is my favorite singer. I love her songs. I think she's a great storyteller. Yeah. Tom Petty, Bob Seger. The songs are stories, and they're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 2 people on my list are Dr. Dre.
Yep.
And Jay-Z.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, it's for the same reason. I think even if you look at their rapping, if you look at everybody I just mentioned, they tell cool stories in song.
Well, it's the storytelling, right? So like,
and that's what does it for me. I love if you could, you know, like Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. It's 20 minutes long. I'll listen to that shit every time because it's a great story. It's a well-told story.
And that's one thing, like, so, like, not to harp on Jay, but everyone, when he dropped his 444 album and everyone was banging on it, I'm like, well, what is he supposed to rap about now? Right? The dude's 50, a billionaire. Like, so he's rapping about different things, right? Like the evolution of the artist, right? I think Dre, for me, is the best producer of all time. I'm definitely a storyteller, and I like how he picks when he's going to drop his stuff. But Jay's on my list. I do love Billy Joel.
Oh my God. I also love Billy Joel.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Everything Billy Joel's ever done. Sick.
Chris Stapleton, if you want to talk about a storyteller, as far as a singer goes,
Vincent Miller just chimed in. Eagles, Queen, Def Leppard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's because he has a big fake tiger tattoo
Eagles,
on his arm.
the Eagles, I think, are a great storyteller. Queen, obviously, just
who's a shitty singer but a great storyteller? The Boss.
Can I tell you a funny story real quick? I went and saw Springsteen at the XL Center in 2016.
Yep.
And I was sitting in like fucking box seats. The radio station hooked me up and I was feeling pretty good about shit. My wife and I, we were like, yeah, we like the Boss. We're big Springsteen fans. And I forget what the fucking name of the album is offhand. And also I'm a little drunk. Sorry. He did the whole album. But here's the thing about Springsteen. Every fucking song sounds the same.
It does.
Everything kind of sounds like Tunnel of Love, but it's not. And this bro was just, I got to tell you, 3 hours of this concert, 3 hours and about maybe 3 hours, 15 minutes. This guy puts everything into every single song. I've been to a lot of concerts. I've seen everybody. I didn't know any of the words to anything he sang that night. I couldn't sing along to anything. It was literally like his new album.
Yeah.
And everybody there at the XL Center, they were Springsteen fans. They were all singing the brand new songs and shit. And I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, I don't know this one either. I thought again, from an intensity standpoint, it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. From a familiarity standpoint, it would be like going and watching like a K-pop band.
Yeah, no, you can't, like, album wise, fine, but I think I think for me too, I loved Lauryn Hill before I found out she hated white people, but
I don't care. I still love Lauryn Hill.
Miseducation was great. I'm a big Alicia Keys guy. Like, I love one. I would risk it all for Alicia Keys. It doesn't matter.
I'm with you. I love her too.
I literally introduced my ex-wife as my sister when we did the meet and greet. That's the kind of dirtbag I am. But I think her voice, I've seen her live a ton, is fantastic. No rap ever live except for Jay-Z. Like, any rap concert ever has been garbage. But I will tell you, one of the best rap albums of all time is that Get Rich and Die Trying with 50.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because like that was just like, this dude is in a back alley and you could just feel like that. Like, we don't have that type of rap anymore where you're just feeling it. But yeah, and I like anyone, like I love female singers who would just belt. But yeah, I'm not a country guy, but I think Chris Stapleton is probably one of the best concerts I've been to. Guy's just a remarkable artist. But it was weird because when I was growing up, I remember my first cassette tape was Ice-T New Jack City. Like, my mom had no idea what she bought me, but I had all these like vinyls. So I grew up on like Huey Lewis and the News, right? Like the Billy Joel, like the Eagles.
Sports was the best album of all time when I was a kid. I thought Huey Lewis was the baddest motherfucker on the planet
ever.
That guy was such a dork, and I mean, as a kid in the early, it was like my hero.
It was just so funny, and I'd like go to school, and I'm just rocking it. And my friends are like, "What is this stuff you're listening to?" Because all I had was my dad's old vinyl. But yeah, I think music is like the greatest connector of like just people. Like, I just watched a special on when Whitney Houston sang the Star Spangled Banner and like how big of a deal that was. Like, and like her voice, like The Bodyguard is probably one of my favorite movies. And it's not because I had this great storyline, but like
I bought the soundtrack.
Yeah. But like that's how like
so good.
Like so good.
So good.
Like I didn't talk about it. I'm like, it makes me happy because I'm like, it is outrageous. Or like, I hate bringing up Michael Jackson because I do think he was a creeper.
Yeah.
But his I just had, this was one of the funny conversations I had in court today about how I thought Joe Biden should have pardoned Diddy and R. Kelly and make a collab album. But like,
I love that.
But like, I loved R. Kelly. Like, minus the weird, like he married Aaliyah when she was 7. And
I don't condone any of that, but I do like the remix to Ignition.
But like his voice, like it's like I Believe I Can Fly type shit. Like you're like
hot and fresh out the kitchen. I get it. I get it.
He just dropped a track out of prison, and it made me feel bad for him. Like you have to stop listening to the songs. You forget what he did.
Yeah.
But like I love, you know what I absolutely love is Stevie Wonder. Like I went to a Stevie Wonder concert and they couldn't get this guy off the stage. Well, one, he's blind, right? So like good luck getting this blind guy off. But like this dude's got to be what, 65, 70, and he is just rocking out. Talk about a musical savant. So fun story, I was in a jazz band in high school and we opened up for Stevie at Animal Kingdom in Disney.
I'm not sure about the fun story. I was in a jazz band in high school.
Yeah.
Skip ahead to cool part, open for Stevie Wonder. That is cool.
Chicks dig trumpet players, bro.
No, they don't.
It's right below speaking French, if you know what I mean. Nah. Strong lip muscles.
Can anybody else verify that jazz band led to
this guy being
this guy talking about?
How do you think I landed my wife, bro?
Don't understand.
It was that box Stradivarius my parents got me when I was 16 instead of the fucking car I wanted. Like, imagine that, right? So I'm not even like, this is an absolutely true story. True. I wish my mom was on here because then she could verify this. So 16, right? I turned 16. Christmas is coming around. So I open up my fucking gift. There's like a box and it was like Baby Moon hubcaps. Remember the Baby Moon hubcaps?
Of course.
Right? I'm like, fuck, I got a car. I'm so excited. I'm like, yes. My mom's not dropping me off at school anymore. There's a fucking stuffed animal. And I'm like, okay, so there's another big fucking box. Open it up, it's a fucking trumpet. My parents spent $3,500 back in like 1996 for a trumpet. But I fucking didn't get a car for our box Stradivarius.
Do you still play it?
Oh, bro.
One time at band camp. Dude,
that's not funny. I got sent to band camp. I got kicked out because I tipped a kid over in a porta potty because I wanted to go home. I fucking bum rushed a porta potty. This kid went over and I fucking got home early.
Nicole, thank you.
Laurel band camp. That was a nightmare, bro.
Sounds like it.
It was so bad that like I was a male cheerleader my senior year of high school because I wanted to get out of the band. And a tennis player.
By the way, Vinny alluded to this earlier. I got a colonoscopy yesterday. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all.
That's what he said.
And I can't. I'm telling you, I just told this jackass he should get one because he's all scared. Like, oh, they're gonna. Let me tell you something. They put the thing on your face and you're out fucking cold in 2 seconds. I mean, 2 seconds. I supposedly they do a countdown. I didn't even get to that part. They put the oxygen on. He stuck and that was it.
Yeah, but dude,
I woke up and it was over and they were like, hey, you're heading home.
No way. Because I get like weird thoughts. Like, I bet you I give you any amount of money. They got some weird ass photo album in that fucking office.
Oh, if they don't, I would be shocked. And I'll tell you this.
That is
all
so
of
gross.
The nurses at the Glastonbury GCI were fucking smoking hot. It was, at first I was like, oh, is this going to be weird? And then I thought, you know what? If a bunch of random women are going to be looking at my shit, make them hotties.
No, dude.
I deserve that.
No, like there's just some weird album with buttholes.
So I worked at a photo lab many years ago. In the late 90s, I worked at a photo lab.
At Walmart?
I worked at a photo lab at an undisclosed retail location.
Walmart.
And every single, I got to tell you, remember those disposable cameras? Yep. 25 shots on the camera, yeah?
Yep.
So a lot of them will go out to 27, 28. And let me tell you something. As a guy that used to process these rolls of film, typically 25, 26, 27.
No bueno.
It's dick, it's vagina, or it's some other obscene people at the end, just for whatever reason.
They're just like, yo, we got 3 left. And
for whatever reason, I kid
ran
you
out of
not.
kids to take pictures of.
It was so. It was like, it'd be like I'm going through like a birthday party, right? I'm lightening, I'm brightening, and then the last 3 pictures is like dick shots. Some of the best stuff I got a bachelor party. It was buddies of mine.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want you to develop these. And so, but here was my thing. I made copies of everything. The best was I did pictures once. It was a girl with her boyfriend, and they were in a hot tub. It was good stuff. It might have been 6 months later. I ran into that girl.
Oh no.
They weren't together anymore. And I asked her to go out because, I knew
what she was working.
I knew what was in store.
That is so creepy.
She didn't know. The most disgusting thing of all time. Very pretty young lady came to my photo booth. She gave me the photos. She gave me the film. And she goes, how long is this going to take? And as soon as she said that, I knew there was some hot shit on there, right? So I go, it's going to be at least an hour. I'll have that shit done in 10 minutes. Don't you sweat it. Okay. So she walks like she's leaving.
Yeah.
And I see her like dip into the women's section, not to shop, but she's like peeking over the racks.
See if you're looking at the photos.
Yeah, bro. And let me tell you something. It started with a few pictures of her in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and this is as much as I'm going to tell you, her dog, cute little fluffy something or other.
Stop.
This was a very attractive woman and a very cute dog. And there had to be 14 straight pictures of that. It's fucked up.
Yo, you know what I would have done though if I worked there?
Joe, you haven't watched the movie 1 Hour Photo Robin? I did see it, and I saw it after I did all of those things. And here's the good news. I came home one day, and I was about to add 4 boob shots of this very attractive redhead who had come in. And again, it was like a family birthday party. They were in church at some point. And then the last few pictures, this woman took photos into the mirror of her naked body. And so I went home and I was going to put these in my photo album because
that is so illegal.
Fat photo album. Who cares? Statute of limitations got to be expired.
That is wild. You are a creeper.
No, listen.
I can't get over this today.
I come home with my new pictures and
they're not your pictures.
Well, they were because I,
oh my God,
I made them.
Dude.
I come home
that is
and
wild.
I opened up my drawer and the album is gone. And my dad walked in and he goes, I got rid of that disgusting photo album of yours.
Dude,
I was like, dude, 3 years down the drain.
I can't believe you're that guy. That is crazy.
Bro, let me tell you something. There was about 8 of us that worked in that photo lab. I was the only dude. And anytime the women got pictures,
they give them to you?
Bro, I made you copies. Yes.
You know,
it was like a running thing that we did in there.
You know what I would have done if I worked there, though? I'd take those weird pictures with the normal ones, and I would put it as the first picture, right? Because they always check to see if the pictures came out, right? So it's just first one that comes out, and it'd be like, hey, did it come out all right?
I got to tell you, when I tell you, I would say roughly 50% of every person that came to that photo lab. The movie was supposedly based on a true story. My God, Joe, it was you. Listen, you know what? Sometimes you lighten, sometimes you darken, you print out, and you're like, you know what? This is not good enough.
Listen, I got a creeper story.
I'm going to put this in the stash.
We're going to put this in the bag tonight. So I worked at the Gap for 8 years.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
So, and I was
8 years.
I was the fitting room specialist. So everyone just assumed I was gay. Automatically.
Obviously.
So like I would just go with it because girls would just come out like just taking their shirts off, putting on them. Oh my god, how's it look? I'm like, oh my god, it is so great. And now I feel kind of awful because I'm clearly a straight man.
Wait, were you confused or were they?
Dude, funny story about the Gap, and then we'll go. 2 funny stories. Ricky Lake came in back before.
Shut up, Ricky Lake.
Well,
Love her.
she was like Ricky Ocean back then. So she's looking at the jean wall and she's like, yeah, I'm looking for this size. And I was just like, I was like, your secret's safe with me. Yeah, dude, we said it was a crazy time, but yeah, man, I had never seen so much boob in my life. And I worked at a booby bar. And I think I've seen more boobs at the Gap than I did at the booby bar.
I'm telling you, dude, people are fucking weird.
Weird. Like I'm telling you, like people are just weird, but that's why I love this life. Anyways, dude, we've been talking for 1 hour and 21 minutes, which is a new world record.
This is I would say this is our longest show. And by God, thank you to the people that stayed right through the end.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
We're gonna send Nicole out a hat.
Do me a favor though. Nobody tell
Oh, mic drop. Literally
a literal mic drop when we listen.
For people who are listening to this on iTunes 2 weeks from now when Joe uploads it.
That's wild.
I'm like, hey Joe, can you upload the episode? Literally his mic just fell.
But I caught it, which is the other incredible thing.
And you're much faster because you don't have a beard.
See? Lighter, thinner, faster.
A new improved Joe. Yeah. Just don't send him your photos.
Do me, listen, nobody mentioned this to anybody, the photos thing. I am an hour and 20 minutes. I'm shit-faced right now, to be quite honest.
Don't worry,
with
no
you.
one listens to us, Joe.
Dude, there's people watching right now. They're commenting about the shit that I just said. Now there's more people watching. There's literally more people watching now than there were 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but they missed a part about how you were stealing everyone's nudie photos, put them in an album in your bathroom.
Time out. I didn't steal them.
You put them in your bathroom.
They were not in my bathroom. Okay. I merely printed an extra copy.
Just in case they lost theirs.
I was working on trying to figure out the right brightness and contrast on the human body. And so this was an artistic expression of my work. I believe this falls under the First Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, Vin. You'd know better than me.
Listen, all I know is when you're stealing nudies, that's called voyeurism.
What's the statute of limitations on that? I'm thinking 30 years got to be passed.
40.
Are we good?
No, I got to go. I'm out of here. Cops are coming. I hear the sirens. All right, everybody, change your plans. It's me. It's thin and freshly shaven Joe. It's been a good run tonight.
What a great show.
It was a good one.
I want to drag this out for a few more minutes, but I'm not going to do it.
We're going to leave it here, dude. I'm sweating. I got to go.
One more comment. Jim, what? 5? Was there a math question involved?
Jim knows it all, by the way. You and Jim should hang out. You guys
did we say 2 plus 3 equals? I don't even know. Where did he 5? What is that?
Let's go, dude. It's an hour and 23 minutes.
But Jim just jumped on.
Jim's late to the game, dude.
All right, Jim.
All right, Jim. Talk to you, Nicole.
Next week. Thank you guys all for watching.
Yes. We'll
catch you. Wait, one more comment. Yeah, gotcha, brother.
We're out. Later, guys.